Hallo und willkommen, ich bin Meister Lenzier and this is Crystal Wings and you're watching Get Germanized. Let's get ready to Ramble episode 2, where basically car thoughts, but better because Crystal is here. Let's go.
I am bored. What should I do?
Ich weiß.
So today we're talking about, well, anything and everything really, and compare, like, she's from the US, I'm from Germany. We're gonna just compare life experiences and stuff that could be interesting to you. Nothing in specific. We thought we're on the way to another Christmas market to Osnabrück, so we kind of want to show off what we see. It's kind of nice, the weather at the moment at least. It was gray all day. We were talking about that before, how when you always have these gray skies, it can get depressing, but you're from San Diego.
Yeah, it's completely different. In San Diego, it's always sunny. I mean, that's how people know San Diego. They call it sunny San Diego.
Just like in Philadelphia, right?
Yeah, exactly. And people go there to vacation because of the weather, because it's so nice. So, I mean, people do a lot of like outdoorsy stuff when they're in San Diego too, just because the weather is so beautiful. But I personally like kind of gloomy skies once in a while, and then rain. I love the rain, and I wish that it rained more in San Diego. So for me, it gets a little tiresome when it's just sunny all the time. It's like, ugh.
Well, actually, the people might not be able to see you very well. Let's do this. That's probably better. Hello. Yeah, it's always like the grass is always greener on the other side, right? You always want what you can have, and so in Germany, it doesn't really. I mean, we did get a lot of sunshine this year, to be fair. This summer was insane. Many crops died because it was so hot all the time.
It was so hot, yeah.
And farmers weren't ready, I don't think.
No, absolutely not.
But generally, winters are pretty long. I mean, at least the weather is bad for pretty long during the year. But we do have nice days. I mean, today it's cloudy, but the sky looks really interesting.
Yeah, the sun kept peeking out of the clouds, and I was looking out the window, and it was like, oh, the sun's out. And then you look out the window again, and the sun was hiding.
Yeah.
So
it changes pretty quickly as well, the weather here.
Yeah.
But just look at that sky, guys. It's just beautiful.
Yeah.
You can see parts of it. The sun is a little bit more to the right at the moment, but it's like now 3:18 p.m. It gets dark pretty quickly at the moment.
It's probably going to get dark within an hour. So.
Yeah, that's why we wanted to use the last sunlight for you to film a video for you guys, and then enjoy the Christmas market during, well, not nighttime, but like darker time, I guess. The lights and stuff like that. I'll try to include stuff again if we take pictures there, so that you can enjoy it with us, basically.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed the last video where we went to the Bückeburg Christmas magic, they call it, Weihnachtszauber.
That was beautiful.
It was, wasn't it? It was really nice. We went inside the freaking castle. I mean, I've been there before, but I didn't remember how beautiful it was. Like, it's really well kept.
It was so fancy, from just the way the architecture was to the art, to even what people were selling inside of the castle. It was just like very, very expensive clothes.
Yeah.
With very expensive material and all kinds of art, and it was really extravagant. Like, I had no idea what to expect. Like, it was very much like a much more expensive version of like December nights in San Diego.
Yeah, there was this sweater that cost like what, $300 to $400 or euros or whatever.
Yeah.
It was insane. I was like, holy shit, they really cater to the rich people with this event. Yeah. Because I mean, who can afford that, or who wants to afford a sweater for $300?
No.
That's insane. I mean, if it's like, I don't know if it was cashmere or whatever, or silk. It didn't look like it. Maybe cashmere, I don't know. But
yeah, I saw a lot of, I guess, furs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, lots and lots of furs. And just, I mean, I'm not too familiar with like fancy material, for like clothing material, but it just looked so lush.
Yeah, I guess the upper class of Germany hasn't arrived in 2018 yet, where you shouldn't really be after furs that much anymore, because I saw a lot of these pompous old ladies. They were quite rude, to be honest, as well, partially at least, because I we bumped into one of the ladies or something like that almost, and I said, excuse me, and she said, yeah, just don't walk on the left or something like that, because I mean there were like a couple of old ladies walking. We were going up a staircase, right, up to this alcohol area there.
Yeah.
And then there was a lady on the left, lady on the right, and I was like, oh, where to go? So I did a little bit of a slalom. So I said like, oh, what a slalom, haha, funny. And then this lady really grumpy, like, yeah, just walk on the right. I'm like, oh, sorry. No, I said like, oh yeah, but not everyone did that, so I couldn't. It's just, why do I even have to say that? It's just, oh, sorry, excuse me, or something like that. I don't know.
There's kind of a lot of people there.
Yeah, true. You can't generalize, but but.
I'm more so meaning like her. It's like you can't really complain because you're going to a place that's already crowded. And we were actually we actually went there at a good time, because by the time we were leaving, a lot of people started coming in. Yeah. Because it was getting darker.
Might be unlucky today, to be honest.
Maybe, yeah.
I mean, it's not as big of an event. Yeah. I mean, it is, but it's not the Christmas magic, whatever. It doesn't cost entrance fee, because we had to pay $15.
Yeah, because it's probably not going to be at a castle.
No.
So.
I mean, there are nice buildings in Osnabrück, but it's mostly like the inner city district that has the Christmas market with booths and stuff like that next to like the clothes stores, or in that area, I think, in that general area somewhere. Yeah. I don't remember exactly where, but it's pretty nice as well. Just nothing compared, because it's not in a castle. So I can't beat that, really.
Yeah.
Can you?
It's insane.
No. Now, we were thinking about here, you can see it on the sign, going to the Varus Schlacht today. But if we go there, I don't think we'll have enough time for the Christmas market. We might go there another time, maybe. We're not sure if it was exciting or not, because we looked it up on the internet. It's basically where the Germans, or the Germanic folk back in the day, battled the Roman invaders. And I think won. I'm not 100% sure when it comes to that part of history. But that's actually where the battlefield was, the Battle of Varus. Or Varus, I don't know how you say it, Walrus. The Battle of Walrus. So that could be potentially interesting. They do an annual reenactment of the battle. And
that sounds so cool.
Yeah, they dress up in like Roman armor, and the German side dresses up in Germanic armor and stuff like that. So it is pretty cool.
Yeah.
But I've never attended, because I was never not busy when it happened.
Yeah.
But I might plan that for next year, just to film and to show everyone what that's like.
Yeah.
It looks pretty sick. But basically what they got there at the moment, it's just a museum, I think, and some art installations, and they built like a wall in the style of how the Germanic people built them to defend themselves against the Romans. So it's basically just a bunch of sticks like made up for a two wall.
Yeah, so it's definitely something that you can go see. Oh, it's so pretty here, by the way.
Yeah, it's nice with all these leaves still on the trees.
The colors, yeah.
I mean, not all of them. There's pretty dead trees, or dead looking trees as well, but it's nice at the moment. I don't mind.
The colors are pretty.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would go see that. But yeah, now it's very calm, because it's just like, well, you just kind of, it's like playing Minecraft. you go there and you just kind of work with what you have.
Yeah.
But I think if you were to go there when they have the reenactment going on, I think that would be really fun.
That'd be awesome.
It would be a lot more immersive.
Busy as well, though.
Busy, yes.
Pretty sure it would be very busy. Oh, hello there, dude.
Whoa.
Interesting choice to overtake. People here in Germany, that's another thing what I don't like about driving sometimes in Germany. They don't care if they die or not, it seems like that sometimes. Because people will overtake you just before like a curved road, like what do you call it, a bend? Yeah.
Just before a bend.
Just before a bend, when you can't really see if there's gonna be anyone on the left side of the road or not, like coming your way. So they're just taking the see
like this guy.
Another dude. Just, it probably didn't look as bad, but it looked pretty scary when.
Thanks for the example. That was very good coincidence, good timing.
Yeah, stuff like that happens quite often. People are very not patient when it comes to. Well, I guess when they are heading somewhere, when they are when they have a time limit and stuff like that, then they really quickly abandon the road rules. And I think the guy behind us is about to overtake us as well. We shall see.
Oh, yep.
No. I mean, it's 80 or 70 here actually, so they can't complain too much about us driving, what, 80?
Yeah, I get that way when I drive on, you know, well, this guy too, on the freeway in San Diego, because I think the freeway's like 70, but there are so many people there who very clearly go like 100.
Yeah.
And, you know, sometimes I go like probably 75, 80, like on the left side, not the carpool lane. Like if I'm carpooling, then yeah, the carpool lane. But
yeah.
It's usually when you're on the left side, that's like the faster lane, because if you go on the right, that means you're probably gonna, you know, take an exit or something. But if I'm driving on the left lane, there's still people behind me that are like passing me, and I'm like, dude, how fast do you need me to go?
Yeah, so, that's the same here, kind of.
Yeah, it's like I don't want to get in trouble. Like
that's why I don't like driving on the Autobahn. There, it's just to the extreme. The same behavior, just worse. Especially if you're in the fast lane on the very left side. People can technically, for a lot of the parts of the German Autobahn, go as fast as they want to, as fast as the car allows it, and as fast as, well, the other cars in front of them allow it. So they're just like lightning sometimes. It's really stressful if you don't have a car that goes that fast, or if you don't want to go that fast, because I just think it's irresponsible. That's actually an example someone made. Germans have their Autobahn and Americans have their guns, and that's probably something where the law is very hard to change, because if we were to say, hey, let's set a maximum speed limit on the Autobahn, people would probably go insane, outraged, because it's been like this forever. Why? Blah, blah, blah. That's like the status symbol of Germany that we have that and shit like that.
Yeah.
And the same kind of discussion happens in the US, right? I mean, not for different reasons, but...
Very different reasons.
Yeah, like Second Amendment and all of that, defending yourself against the state and shit. But it's more so that you're so used to something and you feel like it's your right to have that, to do it like that, that you will have a very hard time to change it in that country. So they compared it to the German Autobahn. I thought that was a clever example, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not the same, I know, but like it feels similar to me, because I've never had guns or anything like that. So it's not the same. But the German Autobahn also costs a lot of lives, because there are a lot of accidents that happen, obviously.
Yeah.
So if they were to decrease the speed limit, to set a speed limit in most places, there is a speed limit already for some places, but if they just said the general maximum speed would be 130 on the Autobahn, kilometers an hour, then statistically there's gonna be most likely less accidents and less deaths. So if you were to say, hey, let's limit all the guns, or let's take them away, I guess that's even worse to some, then deaths might, I don't know, it's not really the same. I see that now that we're talking about it.
Yeah, I mean, it really...
But a nice mind game, what do you call that? Not mind game.
Yeah, like I can see why people would...
Theory?
Like, I can see why people would, you know, compare the two, but...
Because we don't have anything that compares, that's why probably.
But it's like, I mean, guns are, you know, they're guns.
Yeah, they're guns, and Autobahn is a street. I know.
So,
okay, I get it.
But yeah, it's like, I don't know how many, you know, casualties there are on the Autobahn. So.
And I don't know the casualties for the guns or anything like that either.
Yeah, it depends on what side you're looking at, I suppose. Oh, hey, it's raining.
That's what I thought. Well, it was a 90% rain tendency today. I looked it up. So I hope it's going to stop once we're there.
Yeah.
But we shall see, won't we?
We'll figure it out when we get there.
But see, the weather changed again. Like now it's like gloomy again everywhere. I mean, on camera it looks actually nicer than it is. I mean, not by a lot, but a little bit. It looks more like contrasty.
Yeah.
A little bit.
The darker clouds. Earlier today there were no clouds. It was just...
In the morning.
Yeah, it was just very white. very gray.
Oh, well, I mean, that means there's clouds everywhere. So,
Oh, well, yeah, there are clouds everywhere, but I more so mean like the fluffy clouds.
yeah.
It was just more so like, it's just a sheet, it's just a blanket. But,
Not the rain clouds.
no, exactly.
I mean, I always say this, but when I lived in Australia, actually that's something else I wanted to talk about, different places where we might both have lived and talk about what life was there and stuff like that, what life was like there. In Australia, the weather was mostly a bit cloudy in the morning in Victoria, where I lived, near Melbourne.
Yes.
And then during the day, it was just sunny and nice.
Oh,
I don't know why that is. It was just the opposite of what it is like here most of the time. Because here you get like a little bit of sunshine in the morning mostly, and then the rest of the day is like cloudy and boo.
Oh.
But you said there was no sun in the morning either, so I mean a little bit, right?
Just a little bit. Like it just, came and went, basically.
Yeah.
But, oh my god, like this place.
Oh shit, yeah, the house burned down. Not sure if you saw that, guys. Yeah, that's been like this for a while. Just imagine your house burning down. Holy shit! And that must be. I mean, same with with the fires now in Malibu and stuff like that in California.
Well, that looked like it was an accident within the house.
It was not a bushfire.
No.
Or something.
Everything else looked fine.
Like a
except for
wildfire.
the house. That was insane. Oh. Yeah.
But yeah, life in. Well, have you lived somewhere else in San Diego?
Actually, no. I've only lived in San Diego, so unfortunately I can't speak. What river is this, by the way?
That river?
Yes.
Good question. Now I'm embarrassed because I don't remember.
It's okay.
Got me there.
Yeah. But I actually haven't lived anywhere else other than San Diego, so unfortunately I don't have a lot to say about that. But
that's fine.
But I'm hoping to stay a bit longer here next time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
But I don't know how that's gonna work out. But yeah, it's like next time I visit, I would like to check out the summertime.
Yeah.
I think that would be cool.
Summer is very nice, yeah.
Yeah.
And you can do so much more stuff. We could go on a bike tour and stuff like that. That's the thing. In Australia, I mean, I think there were bikers, actually quite a few, but I have not often seen determined bike lanes. In Germany, as you can see on the right side, there's a bike lane.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of them everywhere.
Yeah.
Not on every single road, like the road we used before, I don't think it had one. But it's very common, and Germany is a country, generally speaking, that is prepared for a lot of bikers, like cyclists and motorbikes, I guess. But in Australia, I didn't see it as much. What about San Diego in the US? Do you have a lot of roads for bikers, or do they have to drive on the normal street with the cars?
So it depends. You usually have a bike lane. It's on the road, but it's a specific, designated lane for bikes only.
Yeah.
But sometimes, the bike lane has to merge within the actual street. So.
Okay.
But usually it's quite safe. And a lot of people seem to bike. I mean, nowadays we have, I don't know how it is in like the larger cities in Germany, but nowadays I've noticed that you can basically rent out bikes. I mean, are you familiar with Bird?
No.
Okay, so it's basically...
The Bird?
It's basically a scooter company in which you can basically use an app to use... I never used it before, so sorry if I'm ruining this, actually how it goes, but...
Not sponsored, by the way.
No. You basically use an app to use whatever scooter you find on the side of the road or something. Sometimes they're really messy about it. They just kind of like throw it wherever. But it's basically scooters are called Birds, and you can just pick them up and use them. So it's like another green alternative. They have scooters
in San Diego.
But different company. There's also rechargeable bikes.
Oh, nice.
That you can rent. So it's all like a renting system. It's pretty cool.
So is it nice to drive with a bike or a scooter through San Diego, or is it more stressful because of the traffic? Or
I would recommend you. I mean, you can't do that like anywhere in San Diego. It's not always nice. But if you go to like the boardwalk or something where you're like next to the ocean, that's very beautiful. You can bike through the park, and you can bark.
You can bark.
You can bike through residential areas too, but it's not always nice. Like I feel like biking through a residential area in Germany or like somewhere in Europe would be a lot more pleasant. But there isn't a whole lot to see in San Diego unless you actually go out to Belmont Park is really pretty. I'm always gonna say Balboa Park is really pretty. And then you could just go, take a beach cruiser to the beach, and it's really, really beautiful there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to try that. I think the scooter thing definitely. I mean, I have a license, so. Or do you need a license for a scooter?
No, it's just it's a motorized scooter, so you don't need a license for that.
Like, is it a proper one where you sit down, or is it more like a scooter that you just stand on?
Stand on.
Ah,
yeah, they're
okay.
not like what we call them mopeds.
Ah, like a moped, okay.
Yeah.
Because I do have a motorbike license, even.
Okay, yeah. If it were a moped, you probably need
a license.
Yeah.
Like they do that in Thailand a lot. Like I only visited Thailand. I haven't really lived there. I mean, they don't have bike roads, bike lanes. I don't think. They just have crazy roads that go anywhere, everywhere. And I think they don't have traffic rules. They're either not really, at least.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe general traffic rules, but no one seems to care.
Yeah.
Because they were going with these tuk-tuks, these little bikes, just everywhere and fast as hell. It looked really dangerous. We were on one that went through Bangkok and was just insane. Yeah. Bangkok wasn't really for me. It was fun for a while, but it was just too much and too polluted, I think, in most areas, and just hot and humid.
Yeah. I hear India is very much like that too. Like bigger cities in India, they just drive everywhere and anywhere, really.
And I heard that people constantly beep their horns on their cars and scooters because they don't really have functioning traffic lights sometimes or something like that.
Yeah.
Or just generally so that they don't kill anyone because they want you to hear them.
Yeah.
That's why they do it.
My friend is Indian, and he's been to India multiple times, and he said that some people call India a honker country. Okay. And it's just because people use their,
horns.
Their horns a lot. Exactly.
Yeah, that's not a thing here in Germany. I mean, there's even a law, I think, that forbids you to use your horn in a residential area. Or no, as a greeting sign. I think you can't do it like, hey, do, something like that.
Oh, I see.
They have a law against that so that people don't abuse the horn or whatever, I don't know, or annoy the shit out of other people.
Yeah.
Is it probably something like that in the US, maybe? I don't know.
I mean,
might be.
I don't think there's a law for that, but obviously if you're being too loud, then someone might call the cops on you, or yeah.
I like how I wanted to talk about what life is like in different cities, and now we're just talking about bike lanes in different cities.
Yeah, well, we're still talking about
it's life. It's part of life.
Cities,
yeah, exactly. I mean, in London, to get to a different city where I lived for a couple of months at least.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was fun, but I didn't, or I don't think it's very bike friendly.
Really?
I do not, I mean, in some parts probably, but in the inner city and stuff, I do not remember seeing many bikes, but I might be wrong. People's memory is really bad. Like, I recently listened to a podcast where they talked about that as well. Like, people, like, if you ask witnesses, like 3 witnesses that witness the same stuff, they will all most likely tell you slightly different stories because they don't remember all the details.
Oh, yeah.
And so I feel like I don't really know if there were a lot of bikes or not. I don't remember that part clearly enough. Like, I feel like there weren't, but I don't want to say anything that might be wrong.
I have this notion, I've never been to the UK, but I have this notion that their streets are really wide.
Really?
Like really big, so you would have plenty of room to bike. I would love to go to like England sometime. I think that would be really cool. Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
Is the weather similar like here?
To here, yeah, pretty much. Always shitty. No, I mean often at least, cold and gloomy and stuff.
Yeah.
That's what the UK are known for. Is known for, I suppose.
Okay.
Like a little bit of shitty weather. Oh, look, they're ripping open the road here.
Damn, look at all these tree trunks.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Cutting down some trees from the forest here. But yeah, the weather is pretty bad often. That's why you see like English people, they are so weather hardened. They walk around in shorts even when it's really cold and shit like that.
Oh, really?
And the girls, for example, in Newcastle, they go out partying. I think Nurgle, and we talked about that, right, the other night?
I think so.
Our friend Nurgle. How they just wear like a belt instead of a skirt. And they don't wear like tights with the mini skirt. And they even, I think, take paracetamols, like painkillers before that with the alcohol, so that they don't feel the cold as much. Yeah, it's really crazy. Like he told me this, and I heard that for the first time out of his mouth. Yeah. So I'm not 100% sure if it's 100% true. Yeah. Some people might do it, some people might not, but it seems to be a thing there from what he said at least. I know that's not very scientific to just have one opinion and spout it out here on the internet. Sorry about that, but that's what he said. If that's true, that's pretty crazy. And he also mentioned, I think many people have like liver problems because of it, and of all the alcohol consumption there as well in combination with drugs. Which is apparently also another problem there. Yeah, they just, I mean, they are weather hardened, but I mean, they kind of cheat, I see, if that's true.
Kind of a sidetrack here. I personally don't like taking painkillers because it's so important to know when something hurts. Yeah. Like, okay, if you know that something hurts, like say for instance, you just got back, getting a root canal or something. It's like, okay, well, I know this hurts. It hurts so bad that I can't function. Then I'll take some painkillers. But to take painkillers before you know you're gonna get hurt, that's like, you should probably know when your body is in pain. That way you can stop doing what you're doing. Yeah. It's not healthy.
And I don't understand why they wouldn't wear tights. Do they think it's more sexy if they don't? That is like, I don't know, all access or something like that. I have no idea.
Just cut a hole in the pants.
Exactly. Like, where's the problem with that? Like, whatever. I don't know. Like, that's obviously now talking bullshit. I have no idea if it's like that or not. I'm just saying, like, why wouldn't you wear tights?
I don't know. I think it's more comfortable. I don't like to wear...
Oh, yeah, probably.
I don't like to wear tights when I wear, like dresses or skirts or something. But that's just me.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I enjoyed life in London at the time, especially because I was in a relationship and stuff like that, and everything was still in that honeymoon phase, I suppose. So you don't really care as much about where you are. But coming back to the city, I mean, I saw the shady areas and stuff like that, the clubs that are just rancid sometimes, or people offering you coke on the dance floor and shit like that. It never happened to me in Germany. I mean, it probably happens, I won't lie, but it happened to me for the first time in London. That's all I can say. So
that's pretty scary.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, to us people who don't take drugs, that's to normal people, it's scary. But some people would probably really like that. I don't know, but
exactly.
I didn't appreciate it, to be honest.
No.
Oh shit!
What's going on?
Oh shit!
Oh.
That's not good.
Oh no! It's like an accident?
Yeah, it's an accident for sure.
Oh no. That's a shame. I hope everyone's okay.
Me too. Well, don't want to disturb the accident people.
No.
No, not going to drive there. Got to take a slight detour,
yeah.
But anyway, sorry. In London, I mean, like I said, London has a lot of beautiful parts as well, and I enjoyed life. And in comparison to Germany, that's probably what people are interested in. It was definitely more busy, obviously. And in comparison to Berlin in specific, because I think that's the best city to compare it to, it's hard to say. I think London is a bit more beautiful, has more architecture that I enjoyed.
Okay.
Berlin definitely has beautiful architecture too, but when it comes to that, I believe London wins. But Berlin has more this hip and cool kind of vibe, and London has more this royal vibe about it, right?
Yeah.
So it's really, like, it depends on what you're looking for, obviously.
I'm looking forward to, because I don't really know a whole lot about Berlin at all, other than it's big and a lot of people live there. But that's about it. Like I'm looking forward to seeing the architecture and getting the vibe of the big city.
Yeah, that should be nice. Well, and another place where I lived is just in Germany, in Bielefeld, basically for my studies. And life there was, well, it's not a tiny town, but it's a relatively small town compared to Berlin, for example. It has a castle, a small one. It's nice. Not as beautiful as the one in Bückeburg, to be honest, where we went. At least, I mean, I've never been inside the castle of Bielefeld, so I wouldn't know. It's called die Sparrenburg. Sparrenburg, yeah. And it was nice, but I don't think it compares really to better castles here in Germany. And life in Bielefeld was okay. Like there was a lot of students things to do, like bars and just going out with other people to clubs and stuff like that. Just typical college life or uni life or whatever. Yeah. They do have like a climbing park where you can climb in trees and stuff like that, with like ropes. You're secured with ropes there and stuff. And they have a lot of different activities, but like it didn't really compare to any other big city that I've been to, because it's not a big city. It's a small city where you can have a nice life. Not the most exciting life, depending on what you're looking for, but not bad at all.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to traveling more, like domestically within the U.S. Just because, like, I have friends like in other places that aren't overseas. For instance, I might go to North Carolina, Atlanta sometime. I have friends over there, and I hear it's really beautiful there. But a big reason why I haven't moved is because I just have it really good in San Diego right now. And I'm just not really interested in like changing my lifestyle. You know, that's defined by the place that I'm living in. I just kind of like it in San Diego now. I used to really take it for granted, but it's really nice living next to just about everything I need. So it's really, really convenient, and it would be a breeze when you come visit sometime.
I would like to, and take the others with me if possible. If not, then I'll come alone at some point.
Look at this place.
Yeah, this is a nice forest. Yeah, that is why I drove here, because I thought this might be more scenic.
This is so like Red Riding Hood.
Kinda, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, someone's peeing on the left there. How Red Riding Hood. But yeah, it's nice.
Okay, now we're done. See that we're out of the forest.
Pea Wood Forest. What did I want to say?
Oh yeah, being close to everything in San Diego.
Oh yeah, that's the only bad thing about living here in the countryside, because you have to drive a long kind of distance every time you want to go anywhere.
Yeah.
So it's kind of annoying in that aspect.
As beautiful as I think it is here, you know, that is definitely an inconvenience.
Yeah, because you saw how long the distances are to get to stuff, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, if you are, for example, if I had a family, like a wife and kids or whatever, then I would probably definitely prefer this. To have a house somewhere with them, instead of living in the big city where there's crime and shit like that.
Yeah.
But I feel like I'm too young to like settle down for this life. Even I don't have a girlfriend, even I don't have kids, so living here is more like for later in life, I feel like.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking constantly about if I should move or not. But it's also like a big financial investment, of course, because now I can really keep down costs when it comes to like rent and stuff like that.
Exactly.
But if I were to move to any big city, obviously that would take a large amount of my income away. That I could spend on other stuff like travel or technology.
Yeah, I don't think it's worth it to move. I think you should take advantage of your situation as much as possible.
Yeah, the only bad thing also is that I don't know enough people that could travel with me, because I'm not one, like we discussed this before, that loves to travel all by himself.
Yeah.
I like to share life experiences with people that are important to me, that are my friends or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so it would be nice to have someone to do that with. But other than, I mean, I think Hugh or who else doesn't have a normal job, 9-to-5 job?
Well, I would say Dave, but not anymore.
No, Dave is now in the system, in the slavery system as well. No, just over exaggerating.
Good job, dude.
Bye, Dave.
No, bye.
Yeah, no, but I mean, I don't have many YouTuber friends that live close that I could do stuff with all the time. Hint, hint. Yeah, so if you wanna collaborate, peeps out there, and if you're a YouTuber that has like a decent experience or that has decent experience as well, then hit me up when you're in Germany in the north. It would be fun to collaborate or just to travel with people as well.
Yeah, because
that's like a shout out for normal people as well. If you're free often and want to travel but don't have anyone, why not?
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about like jobs with everybody the other night, and how I kind of like and sometimes miss the structure of having like a set work schedule.
Yeah.
Just because you know exactly what you're going to be doing and such. But it is really nice to have infinite time for yourself.
Indeed.
And you could be your own boss, and it's really nice. But you know, that's all dependent on your living situation, your expenses, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it's not dependent 100% on. We're not asking just for YouTubers. You know, if you're a freelancer,
yeah,
then you obviously like have a lot more time. Well, it depends on what you do, but you tend to have a lot more time to travel, and that's really nice.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And I'm not saying like that I don't blame my friends obviously for having normal jobs. Most people do. It would just be nice to know at least some people that are free more often.
Yeah.
That I could do stuff with. Because I mean, my friends, when I tell them this, they say, well, you can just go traveling alone, it's fine. But I'm like, I don't want to.
No, I don't want to either.
Yeah, it's just like, But then when I tell this to my subscribers, they say, when I was young, for example, the older viewership, when I was young, I traveled alone all the time, and it's fine. It probably is, and maybe I should just do it. And I might, but like I just enjoy it too much, having fun with others, talking shit while traveling and stuff like that.
Yeah, just silly stuff.
Yeah,
enjoying someone's company.
Indeed.
Is good, because I just don't like it when I experience something by myself and I want to share it with other people, but I can't because I'm alone. And it's like, well, that's unfortunate. Like, I don't prefer that. I could very much do it. We could very much do it. It's like, there's nothing wrong with it. In fact, I very much admire people who do prefer to travel alone, because there are lots of benefits to traveling alone. Mainly, you don't have, your friends to rely on. Like, your friends don't change the structure of your travel plans, for instance. So, maybe your friend wants to go to another part of the city, but you don't that day, or, And
it's much faster.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to organize with what everyone wants, or depending on what everyone wants. And you don't have to discuss everything all the time. You just do what you want to do. You eat where you want to eat.
Exactly.
But for other things, it's like, I mean, depends on what you want to do. If you just go taking photos and exploring the city, you can do that on your own, no problem.
Yeah.
But if you want to do activities in those places that might be just more fun with more people, then you might want to wait. Depends on what kind of traveler you are, I suppose. Yeah,
for instance, this trip, and most of my travel trips, unless I'm doing it for work, which is very rare, it's very much dependent on who's available to hang out. And it's like, well, I'm going to Berlin later this trip, but other than that, most of it is like, well, who's free to hang out, who wants to hang out, because that would dictate my day and my plans. So,
but not a lot of people are free.
sadly. So yeah, today it was very much like we were scrambling to figure out what we want to do.
Yeah, and I need to film videos while you're here as well, obviously. That's why we're doing this. I mean, I would have done this probably anyway, but it's more fun together. And so we can, as we say in German, beat 2 flies with 1 swat.
Yeah.
Is there a saying like that in English? Because in German it's 2 Fliegen mit einer Klappe schlagen.
Kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
Oh yeah, exactly. Sorry, I forgot about that actually.
Oh no, that's fine.
But yeah, I think this video is quite long now, like 40 minutes almost. No, wait, yeah, about 40.
Yeah.
So we should end this and film another one maybe tomorrow, so it's getting dark too.
Yeah.
Hope you enjoyed this episode of Cow Thoughts. Let's get ready to ramble with Crystal Wings. You can find her model Instagram page in the video description. Check it out. And well, thank you, Crystal, again for filming with me.
Of course.
And apart from that, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to get Germanized. Goodbye and auf Wiedersehen.